live on air. But you're probably seeing this as a recording if you're seeing it at all. But hello if you're there. Hello out there. Hello out there. I am DW Berman. Tommy Gibson. I have a little online store that I sell things on. One of the things that I'm selling now is a little model kit. And in order to I want to have some nice instructions for the model kit. So that's what I'm working on today. The instruction sheet and it's a front and back piece of paper with the box art on one side and also the instructions. So this is what we are working on. Super exciting. But it's got to be done, or at least I want it to be done. So I feel like I got the first page done. I think this, let me get it here. This over here, I think is right. Let me check on the audio. And we'll see. I hear music. Do I hear my voice? I think the voice is lower than the music. Alright, is that better? I think that's better. Okay then. So, as I was saying, I'm Dana Berman, and this is my little atomic gift shop. And this is, in front of me here is the actual ViC B3 robot model kit that I have just completed, I believe, designing and making things ready to print almost. There are a couple of things I may want to do. I may want to try to make a stacked version so that I can print it all in one go instead of on two different prints, but that is detail I don't need to bore you with at this point, I don't think. I have a box here for the assembly instructions, a QR code, and a short link will go in there, but I haven't made the page that goes to yet, so I haven't been able to make that QR code. I have instructions on assembling the arm, and then the body, which I just show how the pieces fit together, I guess. I should probably put some arrows in there because I have arrows on the other parts. And then, yeah. Some stuff for the body. And we put the arms in there. Then the body goes, and then we put the what I'll call the deck together. And put the face and the body and the deck together. Add the final parts. But let me a little bit here. I hope that's clear or not. Glue. Just want to indicate that we need to glue one of these edges at least onto the let's go get some arrows. because it was a live shape, but I wasn't really able to edit it anyway. Outer stroke. Outside stroke. And no, not that big. Do that. Style, paste it over here, paste it. Are wondering what this is that I'm working on, let me bring up the product page for it. Here's my ViC B3 Retro Robot Model Kit. All assembled and painted up one. Here's what it looks like before the final coat of paint that I did. This is my in-progress work. Here are the parts that you can see represented on the screen here. The size a little bigger than a battery, 9-volt battery, a little taller than. And I actually made it so that you can run really tiny wires with really tiny LEDs on them and actually put a light on in it. Actually, there's 3 places you can put lights. Put a light down in here, up in here, and also up in the very top of this thing. It looks like a lamp anyway. So that's what the deal is with these. Of course, I have some other model kits. I have the ViC B3. I have Little Saucer Alien Rig and the Bug 4. And I also have a few figures that aren't model kits, but they mini robots and monsters. How do I have my site organized? I guess they would be, but I think what I want to do is, yeah, there you go. Kits and collectibles is what I called it. It's a kits and collectibles. As you can probably tell by the name of the stream, this is comicgipshop.com, my website. Some downloadable files. Not all of the kits are available in downloadable form, but I do think the ViC B3 will be. For those of you that have anyway, I'm gonna put that off to the side and get back to procrastinating on doing this. Alright, so I do need text. So let's copy some stuff from this other page. Drag it over here. Holding down Alt while I'm dragging it to make a copy of it. And that didn't seem to... I mean, it's unpackaging back. Oh. Photoshop is being an idiot. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. See? There it is. So I'm going to make a change to my preferences in Photoshop. I've had to do this on for the most recent version. Ooh, where is it? Performance, I think. Advanced settings for use graphics processor. Oh, I unchecked that already, so that should be... May have to uncheck that graphics processor. Or at least... I don't know. Because I've had problems resizing things and duplicating things because parts disappear. Let's do some more organization. See what I mean? Parts disappear. It's still there. If I turn it off and on again, it's there. It just disappears sometimes when I'm dragging it around. How annoying. Don't forget to wear a dust mask when sanding. I want you to get resin lung. Not that resin lung is necessarily a thing, but yeah, it's not good to breathe. So, this should be a deck assembly. I'll probably stick something on this page. A little bit of blurb. A little blurb to talk about the model kit and some other things. And I should probably have some instructions in here describing the features as far as the lighting potential goes. There's probably a number of these things too. I don't know if these are... I made up the names for the different parts, so they have some relationship to reality, but not really. Because normally the I would think the chassis, the gearbox top would clip into the chassis, not the other way around. But it's a fantasy robot. Let me get one of these blinds from over here. That's not what I want to do. So hard to select things on this sometimes. Kind of feel like I should have been doing this in Illustrator. I think it's a little easier for some of the stuff. I'll put this like this. Move it down here. Rotate a little bit. And we'll see if I can. Edit this a bit. I'm still gonna have to take care of this point a bit to get it to look like it goes with the arrow, with the curve. Actually, I could have just done this as a simple curve instead of a shape. Maybe that's possible, but I just don't know what I'm doing. That is, of course, quite possible. like how sharp that is. Like a more gentle curve there. That might be a little better. I'm obsessing over a very small detail. Yeah, that's not even thickness. Let's stretch it out some more, eh? That is my offensive Italian accent. It's so bad it's probably not even close. I might not even be able to tell what I was trying. Perhaps if I had a different color line, right? If the stroke, if the path wasn't the same color as the stroke, it might be a little easier to edit. There's no line balance. Hopefully that makes sense. Whoever might follow these instructions. That looks a little too big. There's just no pleasing this guy, huh? Oh, that'll work, I think. My posture. I think I need to raise my monitors a good few inches. I guess I could just be working off of the monitor that is above. Of course, you don't see my setup, so that makes no sense to me. Okay, come on, you. Come on, Photoshop. Stop being such a jerk. Turn off the graphics processing unit altogether. Shit. Making problems for me, I wouldn't have to. I'm gonna adjust this. stroke off. Move it over so it's not overlapping on this. Look up what I named this mark. I don't necessarily remember. Here we are in our modeling package. This is Lightwave Modeler. I don't know if this is the most recent version, but it will at least give me what I need to know. In fact, this thing, turret base is what I call it. Welcome to the turret base. Dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I think I can tighten up the ground a little bit. Alright, I want the arrow. Yeah, that's it. It's the arrow. The arrow is the thing I want. Not that. Don't want to go that far. Turret base. Dennis Designs! Hey, how's it going? I am doing instructions for my ViC B3 model kit. This guy here. That's what I'm working on. I have a front page and a back page. Front page has a wraparound for the box, and the back page is all instructions. So that is what I'm working on. And thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Music is still too loud. I thought I fixed that. Alright. Yeah, some tracks are louder than others. Oh, and I guess my it would help if I actually didn't have the mic turned down on, so... Yeah, that might be better for you there. Sorry about that. So yes, I am working on the instructions for assembling the ViC B3 model kit that I just released a week or two ago. So I should probably have the instructions done if I'm, you know, if I've released it. I've had to send temporary instructions with a couple kits that I sent out, so... So is the audio mix better for you now? And thanks for letting me know about that. Still not happy with that arrow. Maybe that's a little better. Cool. I don't remember. Do you stream? Can I give you a shout out? I think we're the only ones in here, but I don't mind giving you a shout out. And how is your day going? Oh, good. Glad to hear things are going well for you. Things seem to be alright for the most part here. No major disruptions at the moment, I guess. Don't want to lay that far down. I think I will help if I have the right tool selected. Copy that up there and over here. Separate those out. Make that smaller. I don't need it down here. I don't actually have instructions like this for all my kits. I kind of started going with these more detailed printed ones with the little saucer. So the first two robot kits have well, the Bob before has some hand-drawn directions that I eventually added, but so far all but this last one has videos on how to assemble them on the website, so there you can follow along to the video for instructions. Okay. Nope, that doesn't need to be capitalized. The rear tab. Let's keep my tenses consistent. Or not tenses in this case, but active voice. Slot the rear tab of the fender into the back of the chassis. Then rotate into position. again, thank you for hanging out with me a bit. I appreciate it. I think I might want to add another arrow. Just to indicate that it clips in. There. Reminds me, I have not actually made the arrows for that. It's a large block of text. let's add a number in there. Yeah, let's make that. Let's see, I want to adjust the leading. No, baseline shift, that's what that is. Leading is the space between words, or between lines of text. What just happened? Did I drag it to the trash can instead of the duplicate thing? That might have been what happened. Hopefully that's a little more clear and easier to process. Now let's see. Nope. I think I called that the body base. Not that anybody really needs to know what I internally called these things, but it will make it easier for me to type out instructions if I actually have them named. Let me just double check that though. Nope, I called that the bottom turret interface. Alrighty then. It's like, do I really need to type up instructions for slide this onto this thing? I didn't have instructions over here for these pieces. I just kind of have arrows to show where they go. Let's see. I do want to have a note to say do not glue. Let's see. I might want. No, I want to have this on the top. This text on the top. That did not put anything in that group. That's not what I had in mind. Okay. No, I don't want to select the entire thing. I just want to select that one piece that's part of it. Trying to get a little organized here now. I feel like this deck section is the one that has the most instructions with it. Or the most steps. Of the sub-assemblies. Stretch! And I'm all alone again, maybe. As I've said before, I don't exactly trust the Twitch stats thing as far as number of viewers for some reason. like these could be a library thing. Libraries. Libraries. I don't want to share a library, I just want a library. Let's create a new one, I guess. Create new library. Circle 1, circle 3. Where's the circle 1? Circle 1, 2, 3. Dust mask. Bug boy was a bad boy. How about you, man? Welcome in. Good to see you. Just doing a little bit of documenting. To get the original separated layers, hold down Alt as you drag from the libraries panel, or use place layers command. Content placed in frames are always placed as smart objects. I don't exactly know what that means, other than I think I might not be able to access it if I am not connected to my library. How are things with you? Do I need to put these in individual boxes? Or is it clear enough? I'm doing pretty good today. So I feel like I'm making progress on this, which is always good. And I have something to do this afternoon, possibly, which is just to do some shopping. Some very expensive shopping. Not really, but I have some ink for sublimation ink to buy, and it's on sale today, so I kind of want to take advantage of that. Apparently I can't have circles inside a circle, or these things inside. What? I want these to be inside of this other section. There we go. Let's make that a little smaller, I think. Which of course means I'm gonna have to move all of my arrows and text around, because I didn't want to scale that down. So, yeah, once again, thanks for stopping in and saying hello. I appreciate that. Not sure exactly how long I'm going today. I did start a little early, and normally I would raid out to Andy's stream, but he's starting later today, according to what he posted on his Discord, so don't know. We will find out together if you're still around. How does the ViC B3 go for you? I saw you had a picture of it, at least roughly assembled. You were gonna have your girlfriend paint it. That is not the trunk cover, that is the collar. Oh yeah, so you moved locations. Yeah, it's kind of hard to work on projects when you're in the middle of a move. I'll call this the turret clip. I think I call it the collar elsewhere, but I think that's a better name. Yeah, so far most of my kits are pretty easy to put together, and they go together really quickly. So this one's the most complicated one so far, but even so, it can be done in one sitting. And, you know, excluding paint, you know? I mean, you could paint it in one sitting, I guess, but I just mean assembly. Wrong tool. Ooh, I don't want that in there. If there's anything else in there that shouldn't be. Nope. Okay, we're good. We have a second room in our new apartment now to be an office and a space for art and crafting projects. That's nice. So you actually have space to do stuff, set stuff up, and not have to tear it down or have it in the way. That looks smaller. It is slightly. Not truck. Trunk. Okay, what else is in this layer that shouldn't be? Yeah, there's something in there. Okay. The logo shouldn't be in there. Okay. That's more like it. I just wanted to make that a little bigger. Which of course will mess up the scale of the font, but at this point I don't know that I care. Okay, so this is what that looks like there. This I think I can combine into one. Maybe that's from a different angle. Maybe I should just take a new picture. It is getting warm in my room. I know you can't really see what I'm doing because the menu is covered up. But I'm just reorganizing my layers. What? That and that should be in chassis. And that's the problem. It's not in its own thing. It should be in its own thing. Clip and trunk. I thought I named it already, so I thought I had put that in there. And this one, I guess this whole thing is inside. Yeah, I did. It's just inside the chassis. That's the problem. I had folders within folders. It was confusing me. That there should be outside. Okay. Well. We are getting close, I think. Final assembly should not be inside of that. I think it is getting to be the time where I may need to take a little break. So, I think I will put this in be right back mode for a bit, and I will be back in a few minutes or so. Thanks for hanging out. If you're still here when I get back, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you later if you're not around. Zablaka, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What did I miss? Not much. Just the blocker saying hi. Wait, how you doing today? Hope you're feeling better. I am just working on the instructions for this model kit that I finished up, but I'm also processing some 3D prints in the background. So I'm mostly done. Oof. Yeah, I'm sorry. There we go. Put your dust mask on. I don't know if I need this or not. I'll put that in the deck assembly. Gonna try reorganizing this a little bit. Or completely. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I have a particular set of skills. I'm not gonna track you down and find you. You can keep my daughter. She was a brat anyway. Interface? No. Never did see that movie. I'll put that down there. Maybe we'll try. Housing. Yes, and you saw it from the beginning, from this first sketch. It's probably your fault. Today is a day I would like to take a nap. I know you didn't need to know that. Let's separate these a bit more. I say after today's stream, I'm gonna take a drive, I think, to a store up north where I can buy some stuff for the sublimation printer and the vinyl cutting machines. I just know it's gonna cost more money than I want to spend. But I also want to try the sublimation printer I got was used, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it came with like one extra ink cartridge. Did not realize exactly how expensive the ink was going to be, and I did not realize that it expires. So there's one extra ink cartridge, but it's expired. So yeah, going to the stuff shop, U.S. Cutter, if you are that curious. do I want to do it like this? It's like I don't need to see everything here. Actually, on that one, I might want to see the full back of it. Just trying to decide if I want to do it in columns. Which I kind of did the first one was in... First page is kind of in columns, so I guess it would make sense for the back to be in columns as well. My craftsman dust mask warning off to the side. What if I just do it, yeah, full on column. No, not you. Let's move you down. Yes, thank you. You're so kind with your words. Sorry. I have trouble accepting compliments. You know that about me by now. Although, if I'm stacking them like this, I can put the text all up at the top. Text above it instead of below it. It'd make more sense. Hey. You do indeed. I think I need to get into the habit of repeating things that are said in chat a little more than I do. Just to acknowledge that I have actually seen what it is that has been said. I don't know if I'm probably not going to translate this for you UK people, but you would consider this the boot cover. But this is an American model with American instructions. America. Of course, we also have the other kind of trunk too, but English language is funny that way. Same word meaning multiple things. Hey, I didn't want that to happen. For some reason, when I select something like this, it's like there's a logo that's way off on the side somewhere that gets selected, and I'm not sure why. So if I select this, why are these selected and why are they in final assembly? Too many trunks. Yes, indeed. So you have like the steamer trunk, which is a storage, obviously. You have the elephant trunk, which is not. And you have the trunk, in our case, which you would call the boot, but the trunk is like the trunk of the. It's a storage thing in the car, so that makes sense to me. Boot doesn't make as much sense to me. Other than, I guess, maybe it's like the bottom of the car. Like if somebody was laying down, you have the bonnet on one end and their boots on the other end. Well, hello, Spider Moth. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I'm just trying to figure out where my logo is when it shouldn't be selected at all. Like it's getting selected. Is that it? No? How about this one? Oh, there it is. There's one of them. Where's this one? That one. This one might be the one that needs to go. Oh, that one's there. Okay. Ah, fancy seeing you here. I just think of elephants when I hear trunks. We are talking about trunks and boots. Boots and trunks and boots and trunks. Alright, well thank you for streaming me while you work. I appreciate that. Okay, so we have putting the chassis on the top, or on the top, putting the turret base over the chassis, putting the fenders on. Then we need to put the turret interface. So I don't need a new artboard. Just need to move these guys up to the top. This goes down below. And that goes down there. And this is just the finished look. Well, I might, might be able to get the STLs for these up pretty soon. I did design this one so it has a little bit more detail on the top, so if you don't have the dome, you won't be missing it as much. Of course, you don't necessarily need the dome on the other one either, but... Sounds like my dog is trying to get into trouble. it's behind. Okay. I mean, I could argue that it's an indoor robot, but then why does it have tank treads? And bumpers. This whole thing makes no sense. Such a mismatch of design styles anyway. You know what, I could probably just... combine these and get rid of one whole section. Control J! Jumps the selected region to the new layer. Just kidding, I don't know why this is J. But it makes a copy on a new layer. Front bumper. The funny thing is it's not even clear what I'm doing, because it's all hidden. And now you see. Oh shoot. That's not gonna work, because it's already there. That's okay. It's okay. We can make this work. Just need to line things up better. Quite a blast printing the dome, but it's nearly broke me. Can't work out how to clear resin is so hard to print, but might have been the cold weather. Yeah, it's... I saw that there is a new... Anycubic has a new clear that's supposed to be crystal clear, but I kind of doubt that. It's like it turns yellow when you know, the clear tends to turn yellow when you cure it. And you need a clear finish. You can sometimes get by with like doing a clear coat on it over top of it. Of course, that reminds me, I'm a little confused as to what I'm doing here, so I'm going to change this to something else. That's not going to help. Okay. The camera is at a slightly different angle for this other shot, so things aren't lining up perfectly. They don't have to, technically. They just have to be close enough so they look like they fit. So that they look like they can go together. And Okay, yeah, there. It's gonna fight me the entire way, I can tell. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, it might just be easier to just re-render this part. Oh, my dog is making noises that makes me think she's getting into trouble. Okay. Yes, indeed. She was feeling ignored and had to pull something out of the trash. Alright, I'm back. I have not taught this dog how to 3D print. No, no, no. She's smart and dumb all at the same time. She doesn't need to be figuring out how to open bottles of resin. She'd probably lick it all up. There may be a reason the blocker is always confused a bit. We won't go into that now. Yeah, I feel like I'm wasting time doing that. I just want to show that this front part doesn't have the piece in it. And I think that's probably good enough for a little tiny instruction sheet. So it's not gonna match exactly. All because I did not plan well enough in advance. Well, I won't tell anyone if you won't. What is my favorite flavor? Favorite flavor of raisin. I tend to print in... I don't know. I like the smoky black. Ooh, this might be able to lower it into this position, give me a whole side there for describing things. I haven't decided if I want to put borders on this or not. Can't tell if I'm trying what I'm trying to click when I'm clicking on things. I don't know. Mostly it's the I like to print with Soraya Tech Fast because it's easy to print with and is not as brittle as the standard or easy types. Galaxy filament would be nice. I don't have any Galaxy filament. Closest I have is a purple silk, which is also pretty nice. But my FDM printer is like, it's an ANET A8, so it's what, 2015? You know, laser cut acrylic frame, a box of parts that you put together. It's, yeah, not high quality, and it's loud enough where I don't want to leave it running at night to disturb the neighbors. So I would assume they can be heard through the walls. So close. Let's see what the top goes on. The text goes on the top. Let me change the paragraph type. Soraya Tech, if that's how it's spelt. Loads of people mention on vids, but it's twice as expensive over here. I tend to buy what's ever on offer for a kilogram of resin and paint it. Yeah. It is more than the standard. It's the fast is an ABS like. it's not like for me, a 1 kilogram bottle is, I think, about $37, give or take. You can get things on sale sometimes. Whereas like a standard might be 22. I'd have to look it up. I've seen, you know, resins, bottles of resin for around 20 or less sometimes. But usually it's the stuff that's a bit more brittle. And I did not like the Elegoo brand of ABS like. It seemed to be a little too viscous. Put your dust mask on. I feel like that should be lined up with that other text. All right. Maybe I'll just make this smaller. And make these smaller. Well. No, I don't want to select everything. I just want that and that. And nope, I don't want to do that. Don't want to duplicate the entire artboard again. Made that mistake once. I didn't notice it. Spider-Man, Put Your Dust Mask On is a great song. You and Escom could collab. Well, it's a cover, actually. Finally. Okay, I need to copy. No, I don't want to just move it over. I want to duplicate it. And then put those in a different layer. Alright. I know you can't see what's going on in the layers because it's behind my face. My very cool face. Yeah, right, whatever. I don't get the glad rags reference. Hello. Let's see. YouTube. All right, we're gonna have a musical interlude here. Just because I'm thinking that since the blocker came in from the Twitch side and did not follow us over from YouTube, he might not be aware of all the stuff in the crafting space on the YouTube side. I could be wrong, and that's perfectly fine. I thought you might like that. Yeah, Craftsman introduced me to Andy as well. That's how I found out about Andy. Here's this. Gave him a shout out on his YouTube channel. Okay. Let's see. We'll call this the body assembly. Do I need an arrow to it? Because it's kind of like the entire thing. Not arrow, but line. Oh well, whatever. It's gonna get a line, darn it. Because that's just how I'm gonna roll on these instructions. With lines. I think those blues might not quite match. But that's just how we roll on these instructions. With blues that don't match. And retyping things that have already been written. That's how we roll on this project. Inconsistently, inefficiently. Well, you know, paranoia is one of the side effects of smoking weed, I hear. I don't have experience with that myself so much. Which is actually true. Crypto rock to the front door to get into Andy's stream. Not left center. Yeah, yeah. Andy, guess Andy got me making stuff. I don't know. More scratch building stuff though. I watched a lot of scratch building stuff before actually starting it. So definitely got me trying polymer clay. Only went to Twitch as I missed Andy too, although I don't usually have time to watch anything else, and Twitch has to be real time to be interesting to me anyway. Yeah, I don't really spend I don't really forgot what I was gonna say. And yeah, Z says he's not getting paranoid as a side effect. It's probably good. Of course, that's what they want you to think. No, I don't think I'll put a spelling error in here on purpose. If there's one in there, I'll fix it at some point if I if it gets caught. Do 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 do. Go, go, Power Rangers. When the violence causes silence. Oh, that's a mashup no one wanted. Finale Simble. Defo good. Don't need any more problems. Catch it with a fishing net. I don't think that's how you catch spelling errors. Unless you name your fish spelling error. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a little bit. I was a little late, you know, little too old for that. I did watch some of the first seasons, I guess. I know I've seen episodes. And my friends and I went and saw the movie when it was in the discount theater. Partly ironically. It's amazing how much mileage they got out of the Monster of the Week convention. It's like it's basically the same as Voltron. And probably a bunch of other anime that I'm not familiar with. Alright. Select all these, put them all in one. It's like, do I need to show the top deck in its completed form, the deck? I mean, I don't really show the other parts in their completed form. Well, I guess I do for the arm. So yeah, I was wrong. It was, don't forget to wear your dust mask, not put your dust mask on. I think that was probably a phrase that he used at some other point. But yeah, I discovered the Craftsman's channel was recommended to me early in his production, so it's like the first one was just first couple videos that were kind of like crafts thingy. The first one I saw, I think, was just like how to transfer an image onto wood from, I think, a laser printer or something. He did a couple different versions of that video, and it's like it's just you know, he was just showing the work as he's doing it. You know, he's wearing gloves, and you know the entire video. And then it's like at one point in it, he pops in, he shows that he's actually a puppet and is was just bizarre. And he went right back to the crafting, and it's like, it was funny. It got me. So, but now he starts the show as the puppet, so he's, my name is your host, the Craftsman. So, it just kind of goes. He's embraced it. And his channel covers it goes back several years now, but it covers a wide range of things from scratch building to toys from the 80s, making custom action figures, making jewelry, and also gets into animation and photography, and yeah. And he's just fun to listen to with his accent and voice. It's a very soothing. So, yeah. It's definitely a YouTube channel to check out if you haven't already. Okay, I'm going to need some words and lines. Getting to the end. At least the end of the artwork. I'll probably want to fill in some text. There are a few particulars that would be good to point out with this one. Primarily the order that things have to go in. It's not very difficult. It's just that if you're going to glue the body onto the base here, which you don't really have to do, it fits pretty nicely. If you want to glue the base onto the the body onto the base, you will want to have the arms put in first, especially if you have already glued the top in. Of course, you might not need to glue the top in. It fits pretty nice. If you're going to try to run wiring through it, you'd want to do that before you put the nose piece on, because the nose piece ties the top and the bottom together. Again, if you're going to glue things, because you don't actually have to glue those. It depends on how much it's going to be handled. And that is not the base assembly. We call that the nose. I don't know. Wasn't the best name for it, but it's not the hood or the bonnet, because it's attached there and has other things. But this piece here kind of ties the top and the bottom gearbox together. Not that it's technically a gearbox, but whatever. You're not the boss of me. I don't need to explain it to you. Stop selecting the background. I just want the line. And one more. No. Okay. There's the front bumper. I already named the nose. Rear bumper. I should maybe consider putting in alternate views of some of these parts where I'm calling them out, because they are shaped differently. But you know what? I may be done with this? Nah, couldn't possibly be. I wonder if I should. Let me take a look. Let me try something out. Okay, did it just disappear? I guess it did. I guess it did. Yep, sounds like a plan. Part of the problem is that the lines are blue and the stroke is blue, so it's hard to see where they are. And I guess this would be same thing on this side. Only for some reason it's not showing. Is it in the back? No, yeah. There we go. So do I need to separate these actually into parts? And this is a pretty clear division of things with the branding in the middle. Oh well, it's much closer to completion than it was at the beginning. So if I was really ambitious, I would write some lore and fill in a story about the guy. But, you know, maybe, just maybe you're supposed to make it your own and come up with your own backstory and headcanon. This is awesome. I added the is, or this. I hope you don't mind. Something amazing, I guess. If I just move this guy over, I won't need this little jog in there. Which, you know, I kind of like the little jog in there, but... Doot doot. Good evening. The Atomic Gift Shop, IRL. Be a wee bit. We are about to celebrate Mel's mom's 70th birthday. Yeah, I did see that he was going to be late. I didn't see the reason before. Alright, we are at 12:38, and he usually comes on at 1:30. So if he's going to be late for that... Don't know. It's like I'm so close to finished. So close. Don't forget to wear your dust mask. I think he probably did do a put your dust mask on segment in one of his videos. He does, like, he does the music himself usually, which is, you know, amazing, I think. Yeah. It's like the effort that some of these guys put into their YouTube content is amazing to me. This is the final assembly. Do 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 do. And yes, you now have that song stuck in your head. You're welcome. Like, do I need to have multiples of these to kind of indicate that they're going into a specific spot? Like there? Or is just one enough to kind of give you the idea that it's going into that one area? Yeah, I don't like that. Technically, this can go here. Another great song. I'll grab one of these and drop it down here. You can't see where that's plugging in, but it's plugging in there somewhere. Ooh. How about instead of insert, we do add? All right. Well, well, well. Let me take a gander around the Twitchiverse. Well, good old Billiam Babble is on.
And then the name of Da Vinci's, they think he had an affair with, there was a younger artist.
It sounds like a great time to come in on a conversation. Oh well. It's a little, you don't always know what's going on in a stream before you jump into one, so it's good to check sometimes. I feel like I'm almost done with this, but not quite, but I kind of want to be done with it for now. You know? Been at this for a little while now. So I might be done for a bit anyway. So do. Well, thank you. Let's see if my secondary camera actually wakes up. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I say the last time, the reason I had a mental block when I was doing the, or maybe just a motivational block when I was doing the little saucer documentation. I just kept putting it off and thought, it really should have something a little more substantial or printed. So I actually ended up hiring somebody on Fiverr to actually design it for me. Didn't work out entirely, but it got me moving, which is what I wanted anyway. And gave me the idea for wrapping it around the box like I ended up doing. So
Let's see. All right. Droid cam. There we go. Okay. Well, let's change gears a little bit here. Well, first of all, let me save. It's kind of important. Keep dragging the wrong thing out. I know, you can't see what I'm doing. That's okay. Transition. It's the real life. The IRL cam. I was gonna separate these guys off from their sports. And grab most recent. These aren't fully cured, so you can bet I'll be washing my hands after this. But let's do a quick assembly as quickly as we can to round out the episode. So here is the front bumper. Nope. Yeah, the front bumper. Here is the rear bumper. You can see it has a little bit of a bump out in it. And it does not have these tabs that go up. The body. The dome spine. The backpack. This is the turret interface. I'm probably rushing too much here. The chassis. This used to be two parts, but I decided it didn't need to be. It's easier if it's just one. I have an echo. Of course I do. Thanks for letting me know.
That should take care of that. This is the dome ring. This is what holds the dome in place. Unlike the previous designs where the dome just kind of like fit into a tight-fitting ring, I decided that it would be better to have a ring that goes over top of it and keeps it in place rather than, always trying to force it into a clipped in place. I don't know that actually works out that well, but time will tell. This one is a pain to get off, apparently. I have to do this in 2 passes on my printers because my printers aren't that big. So I may end up trying to build a stack so that I can print them all in one go, even if it takes... Well, it'll take a while. And this is the nose piece. Here's the top of the gearbox. Which, it's where the motor is too, I guess. I don't know. Called this the head stalk. It's got little tabs in there for putting in the headlight or the head. However, I may change that in the near future so that it has a little more options. I added these little loops in here. Not loops, but these little things in there so I could run the wires through there to kind of give them a place to tie off. I don't know how well that'll work, but it's just an attempt to fix a slight issue. Of course, the lovely fenders that provide all of the style, which of course were not actually in the original design, but I wanted to add them for some reason because of all the styles, left and right. Got the tank treads. Have the gearbox bottom. Oh, this one's gonna... I think this one's a little tough to take off too. Oh, maybe not. What did I call this? It's on the sheet of paper. This is the turret base. A little trunk cover or boot. One hand. Two hand. There's the little cathode ray tube, basically. Is what I designed it to look like. The lens for it. And it looks like I knocked off the little lens that should be attached to that thing right there. So I would not be surprised if I find it at the bottom of my cleaning tank. I may print that and this lens in a clear or a white and just do a bunch of them at one time. I don't know, we'll see. So these are all the parts. Let's get building. Or something like that. If we go by the instructions, the first thing I have us do is... I'm not going to glue these together, but you would glue these. Actually, there's like these little supports in there that could be removed. I don't have my tools with me, but, I got some supports in there removed. I tend to do this before I ship them out anyway, so usually the client doesn't have to do this. If I release them as STLs, you will have to do this. Here's some extras. Bits in there. They don't, they're so small. You don't really see in there. Actually, I have some supports basically modeled in, not these, but I have some that are modeled in. Come on, get out of there. I should have my needle nose pliers for this. There we go. So, yeah, probably shouldn't have taken the time to do that for this demonstration. But here we are. We have the hole in the back of the tracks that correspond with the axles here, and this little support beam there interfaces with, well, there's a thing up front. There are places where it connects, basically. It's not like a super solid connection at this point, so this will be a piece that you glue. I did have it be a little more tight fitting, but it was a little too tight and was causing problems. So I decided to just, yeah, you make it, you glue those things together, and there you had the base. Now the next thing I show in my instructions is assembling the body. So, I mean, the body's already pretty much assembled. There's nothing to it. But all the stuff that goes on the head, well, let's see. We have the headstock. We have the little head thing. It's very possible to break these pretty easily, but you know, you can glue them right back on. I mean, you can glue the top onto it, so if they do break, it's not the end of the world. There's the lens. The lens goes on there. You might see that there actually is a hole in there. That is actually to let you run a wire through. You can get these really tiny LEDs, surface mount LEDs that are pre-wired, and you can just stick them in there, and that'll work. And this slot here is there so you can run the wires down through it. So that would be like the top plate assembly. Of course, that just goes into the body. This does take a bit of pressure to put in. Oh, maybe not. It was fitting in too tightly. I fixed that. You'd put the dome on. I don't have a dome with me. I don't think I have one at my desk. So this is what it looks like without the dome. Let's put the spine into the backpack. And that goes on the back. You'll notice that there is a channel in here and a little gap in the top, or a little hole in the top. That is another place you could put a light. You could put a light above that. And I have an access hole for wiring to go through. So if you wanted to put what lights in the top here, which you could. And that's basically that assembly. Well, you would have to put the dome on before this. You don't have to put the spine in right before you put the backpack on, but you do need to put the dome in before you put the spine in, because it sits over top. Get in there! Get in there! Thank you. Then you have the little ring that goes over and clips on. You need to glue at least one side of this onto the spine. Probably better to do that once it's in place with the dome, so that you get it even. But yeah, a little dot of glue here and here should do it. And there's the whole head assembly. Actually, the first thing I show in the instructions is the hands, or assembling the arms. And I say to separate these first, which is pretty easy to do. You know, if you just squeeze this, it'll separate them. The first step is actually to glue the wire in here. You can see it actually can go through all the way. My original idea was to bend over the top so that it fits down in there, but can't go through. So we'll see if I can do that with this. That's a bit much, you know, so it's like that's not going to easily fit in. So you'd really need pliers to really clamp that down, but basically if you can get that in there, yeah, I might want to rework that a bit, but the idea was you can feed this down through, and then it would catch inside on the edge, but now it's like sticking out, and I don't like it sticking out, so basically you just glue it in there. again, you'd have to... This will, I believe, fit in. If it's... I say bend it over just so the glue has something to grab onto it. But of course, I don't have any glue with me, because it's just kind of a test assembly, or a demo assembly. But yeah, you'd glue that in there. And then you could go through and put one bead on at a time, which would be cool. The other option would be to run the wire through this while they're still in the holder. It would help if it was straight, I guess. So this is, you know, maybe why you might want to remove them before trying to string it down, because it's giving me trouble. But, yeah. Oh, I pulled it from the other sides. Okay. Yeah, so let's do what the instructions say and just remove these. I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit, roll it around, and that should release them. One went flying. There are 16 of these segments per arm, but you can determine how long you want the arms to be by how many segments you put in. I think 12 is good. I think with 12 he doesn't quite reach the ground in front of him, but his body can rotate, so it doesn't have to. This reminds me of taking peas out of a pod. Only one escaped and I recovered it, so far it's okay. But yeah, there are extra. Like I said, it doesn't need to be 16 segments long. It's a little, I think it looks a little long with 16, but preferences, man, preferences. Here's some nice little detail you can use on some scratch build or something or other. So let's see, we have one on there now. We'll do 14. And these are a little longer than I usually do. 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the counting channel. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 arm segments. Now there might be some support issues, so just, you know, you might need to wiggle them around a bit to kind of clear off some parts from the supports. It's probably better to paint them before putting them on, but you can, of course, stretch them out a bit and then paint them while they're on the wire. But this goes into the arm socket, like so, and take that off. And so basically, the tighter these are, the better. And you obviously don't want to pull on it so hard that it undoes everything you did, but it needs some tension on there in order for it to be able to stand up in place. But also, if you have them both in and you wrap them together, that usually provides what you need, and also it can provide some tension by just having something in there, because there's not a lot of space inside the body cavity once you put the once this gets added to it. So a lot of these things don't have to go in a specific order. It's only like the nose and the dome, and I think those might be the only things that have a specific order, which the gates need to go in. I haven't actually tried using this little gap that I made for this. So it's there to use if you want to, but it's kind of annoying. Of course, again, there's a lot more wire here than there should be. But it does do the job in applying tension. So I guess it works. So there's an arm. Woohoo! And of course you could just wrap this in there with a needle nose plier and do whatever. Alright, so we got the body in. You notice that there are 4 tabs on the bottom. Those do correspond with these things here. They're not evenly spaced, so those tabs go in the more narrow things. I'm not going to put that on just yet. So that's basically the body done. I mean, I've undone some of it, but... And of course you'd have to do the other arm as well. Unless you just want a one-armed robot. I'm not the boss of you. You can make it one arm if you want. So I so want to build one of these now. Also, if you push a button on the bottom, do the arms go floppy? That could be... Like what I was experimenting with the... instead of using a wire, you could just use a thread and have a rubber band or some other thing to provide, or a spring to add tension, so that when you release the tension by pushing the button in, the arms go floppy. Not sure how you would do that with this design, but again, it's like I have these little holes here. This would have to be expanded if you want to do that. That tiny little hole there is enough to put in a very small wire. 2 wires. You know, smaller than this. This won't fit through the hole, but the actual LEDs I have do fit through that. But that could be expanded. The problem is this part here, the wires going up through this hole is the tricky part, because there's not a lot of room there. You'd probably want to put another hole back here in order to make that happen. And it would be on a base at that point, too. Let's see. So we got that and that. Next part is the deck. For that, I had the top. For the deck, I have the gearbox top. These things here are the back. This will just, there's like these little tabs here. They go into little tabs on the back, and then this just kind of rotates around until these front tabs are in these front shoehorn shaped things. And that's all there is to that. Then we do the fenders. Goes in like that. And that rotates in. And you kind of click it down in place. And same with the side. Then on top, I think this part I have going in before the deck, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Like I said, the order doesn't matter for a lot of these things. But some of them they do. So that just goes in there, and that would get glued into place. Then on top of that, we get the actual turret base. As you can see, I haven't actually glued anything, so things tend to want to come apart, but that's not a problem. So this, I might need to work on the tolerances of this, but you can just loosen that up a bit. So this is what lets the top spin. Gives us our turret action. And then we have the little clip that goes in there. I'm not going to push it all the way in. And on the back here, that glues in nicely. So yeah, that all goes together like that. So that is the deck assembly, basically. And then what's left after that is, you know, the deck goes into the base. Then the nose goes in to those holes there. You want to make sure it's pulled forward so that the circle is round. Yep, okay. Third video finished. Like the film. Edit. Da-da-da-da. Okay. I'm just catching up on chat. Sorry. Like the film and then edit them when Spider misses at work because it's pretty unsociable otherwise. Can I get 4 before she returns? Yep. Incoming raid. That's amazing. Welcome in, Stevie. Thank you for raiding. I'm just kind of getting close to wrapping up myself. I'm just doing a dry fit of some parts for this kit to demonstrate how it goes together. And we are at the end of this as well. So I have the nose in. How was your stream, Stevie? And do you have any clips? And do I have the ability to show clips? I know I set it up at one point. So, Stevie's here. Yeah, there we go. Can you hear the audio from that? Clippy shout out. There we go. That clip's going in the bin. So, with pieces glued together, this might be a little easier, but the front bumper goes in here and kind of clips into these side spots, so that's a little difficult. So I'm not going to force it. And then the back bumper. And of course the top. That's the basic assembly. So, ooh, all right. Man. So, I'm probably gonna show the assembly at some other point again, just because I do want to do a nice recording of it to put on the website, to have something to show people, or have them the ability for them to look at it. Like I said, on my instruction sheet, which Stevie's didn't see, I have a space for a QR code and a link, short link to take it to the assembly instructions, but I don't have those actually on my website yet, so. Oh, yeah. Let's see. sometimes things stick together good. There we go. It is nice how they fit pretty well even without glue. Let me turn off my cam transition. Okay. So here's what I did today. I was working on the instructions for this. I had the front sheet pretty much done before I started this morning. So I was mostly working on the back sheet, moving things around, adding arrows and instructions, text, moving things around. I'm not completely finished, not completely happy with it. I do need to add some more text to fill things in. Like I said, I need the QR code down there, but before I need to make the web page for that to point to before I add that. So, all right. Thanks again for rating in. And I think we are gonna call it there. I have a errand I want to run after this, and we will raid over to Billiam Babel, who draws stuff for Dungeons and Dragons. He likes doing maps for Dungeons and Dragons, so let's go over there. Yeah, thanks for hanging in there with me. I appreciate the views, and even if you're just lurking, I appreciate the lurks. So we're hoping to eventually make affiliate so I can make some emotes. That's basically the main motivation. However, I should probably note that I am going to be participating in Art and Jest Camp Chaos this year. I will be a camp counselor for the July 26th, I think. That's the current plan. I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet, but it may be some basic scratch building stuff, like a bead bot or lid bot or something. I'm not sure exactly, but that'll be fun. And that would, that gives me a bit of time and a bit of motivation to kind of build out some stuff on my channel. So hopefully you'll see a bit more. There are things that you have not seen that I have added to the puppet, at least. So we just haven't had a reason to trigger it exactly. So yeah. Thanks again for hanging out, and let's go over say hi to Billiam. I should probably come up with a raid call at some point, other than it's yeah, it's a mega blast. Yeah, thanks again, Stevie, and for raiding in. Thank you for Spider-Math and Zablocker for checking in on me. And Bug Boy was a bad boy. And Dennis Designs was in earlier. So thank you all for showing up as well. And let's go.